Oh man, thanks. I needed that. I needed that today. Okay, I'm getting the thumbs up from behind the computer. Double thumbs up from slightly farther away from a computer. And my name is Sam Irvin, and the show that you're watching is Asheville 8 Note. Asheville 8 parentheses PM end parentheses note. I'm hearing the intro music over there, which is nice. I'm glad that that's coming. That's playing. It is a good thing. I don't know why I'm so distracted from it today, because it's been a total giggle fest over here. I've got Rosser Douglas and TJ Mills coming on the show, very shortly. This show, this live stream, this broadcast that's available as a podcast now, is here so I can catch up with old friends and build community and meet new people. Who did I have on last week? Rick Davis. That was fun. A guy who I met at the Y coming on. A lot of guests from the YMCA, but these guests today are from my time at Moog Music, and a lot of golden years of my youth spent there. I mean, not like when I was too young. I was a man. I was 4. Yeah, I was a little older than 4. Anyways, I also do this show. So 3 reasons I do this: for community and to carve out a time in my life to be creative for creative sake, just for fun. So we're going to chat for an hour, and then we're going to jam for an hour on a bunch of Moog synthesizers. So that's going to be really fun, twisting some knobs. And an Akai. TJ brought his MPC X over there, which is a very sophisticated machine, a little spaceship thing. And so we'll be jamming. And then the third reason I do this show is to practice all of my AV skills and my engineering skills, and put my studio to use. And in the tradition of the show, I'm going to see if I did that successfully today and check and see if I'm actually coming through on the live stream. And I am, and it's coming through loud and clear, I believe. So that's good. You can hear me. What else do I like to say at the top of the show? One thing is that you guys can comment and we will see them. I'm opening that up right now because I had forgotten to. So yeah, you can comment. You can also, if you're watching this anywhere other than YouTube, please pop over to Irvin Music Studios YouTube page and smash that subscribe button, and like this video or whatever. I think that really does help. What would also help is to check out the Patreon that I just set up like a week ago. Irvin Music Studios Patreon. I have a $3 tier option. Maybe that'll get some traction at some point, but it helps, this show can be brought to you by my Patreon subscribers. I don't know. And set up a platform, do this every week. Yeah, I want to get your guys' opinion on a Patreon. Have you ever paid for a Patreon? I'm paying for Scott Ackerman's Patreon equivalent, right? I'm no Scott Ackerman, but he has a huge influence on me. So yeah, I think that's basically all of the stuff. Cracktoon says yo. I'm not sure who that is. Do you guys know who that is? Well, yo, Cracktoon, what's up? It's a great name. All right. Why don't you guys come on down? I think I've rambled enough. Do you think I forgot to say anything? Well, you can tell me if I forgot anything when you come on. What is that? Weather, it is rainy. Yes, that's right. I think I had been saying the weather at the top of every show. I sort of fell off of that, but it is June 21st, 2023. It is 8:10. I believe I started at 8. It should be Asheville 803 note. Am I right? All right. All right, come on down, you guys. Yes. Rosser Douglas. TJ Mills. Come on, stroll on down here. Oh, it's Travis. It's Cracktoon. Travis Little. Yeah.
Hey, Travis.
I know. What a dude.
What up, dude? Miss you, man.
Yeah.
Can I sit on this tall chair?
Graceful.
You can, but you'll be out of all of the camera angles.
I like that. All right.
Squeeze on in here. Plug in.
It's gonna be loud.
Plug in your ears to those headphones.
Oh, we need the cans.
Yeah.
Check, everyone. Hello, my name is TJ Mills, and I'm here. Hello, Travis. It's good to see you. It's good to hear you. Good to feel you. And, yeah, here we are.
You can feel him?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
always.
feel his presence. Do you not?
Yeah.
Are you numbed out
I-
by? Are you? Are you?
I'm not numbed out.
Are you cynical, sir?
No, I would not say I'm a cynical person.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You're pretty positive.
So I'm being genuine in saying that I can't physically feel anyone who's not here. I can barely physically feel y'all.
I know, man.
Yeah, we're not touching right. You guys
No.
are touching a little bit.
All of y'all live in my head, so it's all good.
I need
That's
to. That's
kind of
right. I don't know how to prove that I'm real.
Yeah, same. You can't prove that I'm real either.
That's true.
I could if I tried.
Except for the smell.
The smell is
Smell gives it off. Yeah.
evident. Evident.
Hard to smell fake.
hard to-
Evident.
Yeah. Hard to fake smell.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back on the show, you guys.
Yeah,
you were
thanks for
both
having us.
on the show previously.
What are our episode numbers?
Let's look it up.
Oh,
I was hoping you would know
Yeah.
off the top of your head.
You know,
you did have to think about who you had on last week for a second.
for 1 second. Please. Who am I? Yeah, I've had other people on recently too. Next week
Wow.
I'll have on somebody else.
Word.
You are really giving
Dude,
people
They're
the
popular.
inside scoop.
That's right. Yeah.
Dude, someone else is popular as dude.
Someone else is someone else is all over the globe. You know?
Yes.
All over the globe.
Rosser, I looked.
You Googled me.
Yeah, you don't have a Facebook anymore. I don't.
Yeah,
believe.
that's true.
You got rid of it, so it
I
was
did, yeah.
difficult to find your picture for a flyer. So I googled Rosser Douglas Asheville,
How did
and
it
you know
go?
what came up?
Yeah, anything.
Our episode is like the second thing on Google.
Yeah,
You're
it's
number
a good. See, I have
38.
a big footprint on the internet, as you could tell.
So does
I've
this
made a lot of
show.
waves on the internet.
Yeah, I know. You get on all those.
You Googled my name and the city I live in, and someone else came up. It's a good sign.
Right. I liked your Moog Fest picture.
Is that
TJ,
what?
do you
is
need
that
any
what
help
you
with that?
used?
You can really crank that down
No,
to.
I like this now. I
Because they can
got
see
it.
your face.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
weird.
that's right.
I'm very narcissistic, so I just want. I want.
No, you're vain.
I'm vain. I'm very. I'm very vain.
It's worth it though. Like your
It is.
face.
Come
Look
on,
at
you're
the
pain
vain.
of you.
How would I not want?
How could you not be vain with that face?
I'm just kidding. I look horrendous.
I wouldn't go that far. I would journey in that direction.
I went that far.
I should have argued. We got pretty quiet, I think, when he said that.
Yeah.
Because you guys were both like, yeah,
I was
He's
sad.
kind of right, but I just didn't want to say anything.
You ever Google yourself?
Never Googled myself.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to do. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Although I've got a pretty good. It's,
Considered
you
a
know, it's
sin.
coming up. TJ, I can't find this show was not called Asheville 8 Note when you were on it.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I think it was called the Weekly Wednesday live streamer at Urban Music Studio or something.
I thought it was
Narrowing
Dibby.
it down.
Yes.
I thought it was something like Dibby Toot Stomro. Like that was the
Dibby-
name of it. That I-
Dibby Toot Stromo?
Yeah.
I do remember Dibby Toot Stomro being your initial name.
I'm not sure where this
When did
is
you
coming
change it?
from, you guys. This was a different podcast. We shouldn't. I don't want to cross promote.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole listenership associated with that podcast that you don't want to make sure.
and their
Yeah.
like just logistic or their like legal team is insane, and they will get you. So-
Litigious.
Very litigious. Oh my God, they'll get you.
They have before. I'm gonna have to edit all this out.
Oh no.
No, you're not. Why?
I can't. It's live, actually.
I know. I was about to say.
Oh yeah.
I'm still on the
For the
search.
Instagram live heads
What up, you all?
It's live all over, not just
That-
Instagram.
is
This is the flyer.
picture.
I don't know if you saw it.
that's a picture of me.
That's us.
It can't be refuted.
That's the picture of you that's online.
Wow. Lucky me.
I like how you went
Lucky
in
the internet.
and just chose one of the first pictures that you could find of
I
me
will
on my Instagram.
I wanted a recent one. I checked out your
Oh.
Facebook,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of 2017 coming up. You were feeling very photogenic in 2017. I feel like.
That was lame. You know, I just didn't. I didn't really.
You associate being photogenic with being lame.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like kind of hand in hand. You know, you got your potatoes, you got your spoons, you got your licorice, and you
Should we
have
slow
your...
him down? Do you eat potatoes with spoons?
No, I was excited to hear what licorice was going to be paired with.
Mouths.
Yeah.
licorice and ick. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
because
like
you don't like licorice.
I like Malort. I like digestives, so I do like licorice in that form.
Anise.
Like I like the way it tastes. You know what I mean? I found out today.
It's one of the best parts of food.
Someone told me that back in the day, the reason why we still have digestives is because medicine was mainly created from herbs and stuff like that. So we would take sweeteners and candies and stuff like that, and we would kind of fuse them with the medicine to make them taste better. So it was kind of a cool thing to hear about the digestive and like how like Malort came about and like Ederine and all these other companies that like do that digestive, and they're doing it because it was from old school medicine.
I'm not sure what digestive is.
Like a cookie?
It's something
Some
that
kind of
you
cracker?
will drink directly after you eat
Oh, I
in
thought it
order
was a-
to help in like digestion.
I thought it was a cracker. Or a cookie.
Is
Maybe I'm thinking of a brand called Digesties.
Yeah,
I'm literally like they're
Yeah.
English and they come in these little circular.
I don't know how good for digestion cookies are.
Yeah, which is
So
why I
you were
called the name into
confused,
question. Yeah,
right?
that's why I was
Yeah.
kind of like interesting that it's.
Are you saying digestives? Because that's like what it's like Christmas Eve. It's like what happens
Like it's
right
a
before you.
holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
We all
I was-
gather for
It's
digestive.
gonna
It
say more like
happens right before you digest.
Yeah, digestive.
You can say
Yeah.
digestive.
Yeah.
Or is it digest? I drink stomach ease tea
Let's make
after
it.
a meal.
Let's make it our own. Let's just call it a different name and say that that's right.
What's a mahort?
Malort.
Malort.
Go
It's
Ross.
it's
You
like
know,
it's a liquor, right?
it's a
It's a
liquor.
Chicago-based liquor. I think it's like a herbally steeped vodka,
Mm-hmm.
and famously
It's got herbs and stuff in it.
extremely bitter,
Yes.
like obscenely bitter.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a Chicago thing to like
The
when-
Windy City.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That
tastes-
city, that Chicago,
It-
Illinois. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
gotcha.
one.
Yeah.
It tastes like spiders look.
Huh.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes like the bottom of your
It's really
grandmother's
eerie.
purse.
Yes. All of the things mixed together.
Mothballs.
Is that what your grandmother had in her purse?
feel
She had a real moth issue in her purse.
I remember my great grandmother had mothballs.
It's a big
around.
purse.
That's where all the moths in the world came from. Is your grandmother's purse?
The great grandmother's purse.
Oh, great grandmother's
yeah.
purse. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
TJ, you were episode number 5.
Number
Wow.
5. Wow, I was
Yeah.
really early.
You
Back
got
when
in
it
there
was
quick.
Shit, man.
weekly insights with Sam and company on Wednesdays, oftentimes at 8 p.m. Is that what it was called
On
initially?
the IMS Wednesday evening live stream.
Okay.
You were digging the bottom of the barrel, bro. Like you're like, who can I get? You're like, TJ seems like he'll be
No, I
good."
disagree. I've
5
been
episodes in, you're already at TJ.
Yeah, yeah.
just a plummet.
You couldn't get Kurt Hammett. You couldn't get Andre.
Reggie Watts.
Did you say
Reggie-
Kirk Hammett?
You're like
You couldn't get Reggie Watts in here.
can't yet, but
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if his manager is
Shout out.
watching. No, I've been trying to get you back forever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it took you guys a long time to get back. I think we've rescheduled this group like
Yeah.
3 times.
That
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
one
lay it
was
on.
fun. That was awesome. Just getting in there and getting to explain the Akai a little bit, and then getting to jam afterwards. That was really nice. And there was someone like you were like, hey, there's someone watching that was like, I don't know what this is, but it's amazing. You know, like someone
Somebody
said something really
commented,
cool,
and
I
it
was
meant
like,
a lot
"Alright."
to us.
Yeah, it really did.
So if you're watching this and you want to comment, let us know how good TJ looks.
Don't say anything about my looks because it'll give me a complex and like it
Good or
just
I'm
sing
meant to
about
put
how
on
I
a
look,
fancier shirt.
you know.
I'm feeling self-conscious.
About your shirt?
I sing about you?
Dude, you look
I don't know
tight.
if they can sing about you in a comment.
Oh yeah,
Is
they
that-
can.
Okay, I guess you're right.
Yeah, just put like the little
little
eighth note
singing.
before
the
it. and then-
emojis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all know how to do it.
Maybe italics. Oh,
And
they
what
can't
did you ask?
comment
I have
in
a little
italics.
bit of powdered sugar on my shirt.
Oh, were you
so-
making
It's uncalled
a dessert?
for.
Like
No.
confectionery?
I stopped by. It was gonna be a long day, and I needed a reward, so I stopped by Old Europe, and I got
Nice.
a piece of cake.
What a fun treat to give
You
yourself.
dropped all. Of
I never
your
think about cake as a
cake on
thing.
your shirt.
You put it in a paper bag, and it's very delicate the way that the whole process him putting it into this
Sure.
little box. And I was like, wow, he's being very careful. This is taking forever. I just want to go home. And then I got home, and I was in a rush, and taking the box out of the paper bag, I somehow slipped, and it fell over, and the box opened, and the cake landed like
Oh.
on me. but I salvaged it. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said the shirt's fine for the stream.
I continued to wear that shirt for the rest of the day.
Can
and,
anyone
yeah.
comment on Sam's shirt and let us
Where
know
they think the cake hit the shirt?
how terrible and horrendous it is? I personally can't see it, and I don't think it's horrendous, but
Yeah.
maybe y'all do.
I would have never noticed.
Okay,
No.
that's sort of what I was fishing for, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
It's a good story.
Okay, good. Yeah, I have
I was-
another story from Old Europe. Do you want to hear it?
yeah.
How long
Yeah.
is it?
It's short.
Tell us.
I was in. Do you want me to make it as short as possible?
Yeah, 3 words.
Remove any unnecessary.
Embarrassment eventually. Funny.
I'm
really
playing
painted
it,
a picture.
I'm playing it out in my head. I can see every single movement you've made.
Embarrassment eventually.
Yeah.
I'm there. I just got to the end, and it was funny as fuck.
I was in line and I got to the front of the line and I was like, I just came from a gig. Again, I needed a little bit of a reward, a little pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And I was getting the same kind of cake. Love it. The hazelnut Napoleon at Old Europe.
Okay.
I really, really recommend that cake.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Nice thing to treat yourself with.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never think of cake as a treat.
No,
It's
I
like
really
purely
gotta
like a
stop.
celebratory thing, and it's blowing my mind that you can just do it on a Wednesday. Like after.
This was a Saturday.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
today was a
Oh.
Wednesday. though. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Today's still Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I get to the front
It
of
is
the line.
celebratory because you finish a gig, so it's worthy. I just I never
Yeah,
think of
thank
it as a reward as
Thank
often as it should be. So kudos on the
Mhm.
creativity of getting cake.
You know,
after
when it's at a
gigs.
party situation, sometimes I usually don't want that cake because I'm like talking and I
Mhm.
feel like I'll get icing sort of on me.
Uh-huh.
I like to eat cake in private.
Uh-huh.
So if I make a
So you-
mess,
yeah, right.
And you
Yeah.
never really chew it because you enjoy it so much that you're just like, you're like talking to people while you're chewing, and it's just.
yeah.
You get the whole piece of cake in your mouth and then
Mhm.
go back to an event.
I get, wait, what?
I was trying to understand. You
My
don't
logic-
chew it.
Yeah, because you like the cake so much, you never want to swallow it.
So you put the whole
savor
piece
it.
in your
Just
mouth and you just
savor
hold it all in your mouth. But then you have conversations
And
with
then-
people.
Yeah, like an hour later, some of your friends come up that saw you eating that cake earlier, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" You're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And you're like,
Still an hour.
Yeah.
Goop.
It would be really
Cake is
gross.
good.
Yeah.
You probably.
Yeah.
It'd be like old bubble tape. Did you guys ever chew bubble tape?
Oh,
for
the
too long?
gum that came in the
Yes.
little clamshell thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Very
Yeah.
dry.
Just
and
kidding.
Crackly.
Actually.
Oh, really?
I hated that part of it. The,
I
The
hated
dry and
bazooka
crackliness
gum.
of it.
the
Bazooka gum. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
talk about hard.
Ugh.
That's the hardest gum.
Yeah.
Get it out of here. It's not even
double
gum.
bubble.
Double
Double
bubble is
bubble?
good. Some good memories. of double bubble.
Big League Chew.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, if you want to so for your child can simulate. yeah. Chewing tobacco.
What
yeah.
I would do is I'd be like, I would just
Oh,
eat
individual.
One little piece
Mhm.
of straw.
What was the zebra? The rainbow colored zebra gum.
fruit stripe gum.
Fruit stripe.
Mm.
It lost its
That's good.
flavor extremely fast. There's a bunch of jokes about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Juicy Fruit did that too, right?
Juicy Fruit did that too.
Let us
Yes.
know in the sound off in the comments what you think about gum from the 90s.
What's your favorite gum? Is it Bubblicious? 'Cause
wow?
That was my
Give it to
favorite
us.
gum.
Give us the zhuzh. Give us the goss. We want the hot tea.
The hot tea?
The hot
That's what
truth.
they've been saying lately. you
Oh,
know?
is it?
Yeah, they're like, instead of being like, what's the hot
What's
goss?
the
They're like,
juicy
spill the tea.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
I see.
where
The
at? Is there a
truth.
safe place to spill the,
Mhm.
the tea?
You pretty on top of internet lingo?
Yeah.
You guys are dripping.
AF.
I can tell
baby.
you're on top of internet lingo.
You know it.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Yeah.
Y'all
cold,
got a lot
cold.
of Riz. Okay.
Oh man,
Yeah,
this
that's raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riz.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
have a lot of
uh-huh,
Riz.
Yeah.
I prefer fizz. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's inside of you.
Sure, yeah, like in your water.
effervescent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I got to the front of the line at Old Europe and I was wearing
Oh, right.
this gig stuff. And they're like, "Did you just play a gig?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Like what do you play on like guitar?" And they're like, "Oh my god, I play guitar." And we were chatting, "Oh, you got any gigs coming up?" She's like, "Yeah." And then the guy behind me in line's like, "Hey, you guys talking about guitar? I play guitar." And then he got in on this conversation. It just come from like a cooler gig than me, you know.
Oh.
Yeah,
And-
it's like, We were packed out, man. There was
It was
no
great.
room.
I got
there.
paid too much.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen?
It was Adrian Ballou.
The bank that I bank with said that I have to start another account somewhere else because I have too much money. That's
He just started giving us money. It's crazy.
Yes.
No, then we're all chatting. The guy behind him in line also chimes in.
And
You guys
guitarist.
talking guitar? I'm a guitarist. That's what I do in town.
Maybe you were.
And
in
I
some
got
sort of...
edged out of the conversation. They
Yeah.
both like.
They're like,
But they were cooler gigs. Is that what you think?
I just assume
Oh.
with my level of confidence.
Now, I'm trying to imagine someone who's looking at two people talking and being like, how am I going to weasel my way into this? And they're like, I play guitar too, and I just came from a cooler gig. Was this
Those pieces together.
yeah, was this person trying to push you out originally, or were they trying to be like, hey, let's get something started? And then you were like, this is weird.
I wasn't like that at first.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But inside, I was.
You were dying inside.
I'm not special enough.
You go, guys, I don't care about your guitar styles or your playing and stuff. This is a conversation for me and this person. What would you if you'd stepped in and said something like that?
You know, I wonder how my life would be going if I was that assertive.
How
Yeah.
long ago was that?
It was like a good couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's find these people.
Let's get them in here. If you're watching and you were one of those people, comment.
I want to hear
Smash
your
the
music.
subscribe button.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, prove that you were at that gig. I want to see this pay stub.
I want to see where you had to change banks because you had too much money.
Do you remember what they were associated with? Was it super famous? Like they were really famous guitarists?
No, they just looked so cool,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't know if it
They
was...
were dripping.
They had Riz.
They had Riz. What else has been up, you guys? It's been a while, so I'm just delighting in being in the same space, but
Mhm.
let's not get carried away. You know, is there anything serious for you guys? We've got a platform
Okay, I hear
when
ya.
it comes to like music. Are you ever moved by music? Do you has anything interesting happened in your musical lives recently? Have you been inspired?
I have something.
Yeah. TJ.
I just wondered, can I say 3 bands that I have been listening to recently that have completely changed all kinds of stuff? It's like, it's made me very happy listening to these bands. Alton Gun. I don't know if you've ever heard of Alton Gun.
Alton Gun.
Alton Gun, Altingun. They sing in Turkish, and they are from Amsterdam. And they have a very, 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 very unique style, very cool, like sound. There's a female singer, male singer. I think there's probably like 6 people in the band, and it's they kind of mix Western music with traditional Turkish music, and it has a really cool sound. There's another band called Tanarawin that is amazing. They're like a nomadic tribe that travels around, and they literally live in the desert, and they're nomadic, and they haven't really changed that part of their lives, and they're like tracked from a long time ago, and they have brought their music into the realm for us to hear. There's a live performance on KEXP, which is really good. And then the third one is Surprise Chef.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good name. Surprise Chef is, you know how like Bad Not Good has that like old school throwback 60s 70s kind of sound, and it just sounds like that older style of music. That's pretty much what Surprise Chef is like, but they do. It's not jam band music at all, but there's no vocals. So if someone heard it as I'm riding by on my bike or something like that, and they hear this music, they're like, "Oh, jam band music." It's not jam band music by any means. It's like very in the pocket jazz. It's like good like funk jazz kind of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
What's your top 3s?
3 great. I like I'm gonna go back and watch this so I remember those.
Alton Gun.
Alton Gun.
Surprise Chef.
Mm-hmm. and Tanarawin.
Tanarawin.
Yep.
Can you spell that, Tanarawin?
Tinarwin.
Not to put you on the spot.
Okay. Yeah.
Tanarawin. That sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You're next.
3 bands I've been listening to that have changed my whole perspective on how I listen to music.
No pressure.
Let me think.
We can go back and
Garth
forth.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Chris Gaines.
I'll be honest. I've pretty much I listen to Discover Weekly and I like the songs, and maybe I need to dig into that to have some answers for people.
I mean, I kind of go in ebbs. I have ebbs and flows of like wanting to discover new music and feeling like I'm overwhelmed with stuff, and then I'll like listen to what I have. And I mean, I guess I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of this Japanese band called Kikagaku Moyo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, found out about them after they disbanded, so they're not a thing anymore. But incredible records. I don't know. Now I feel a little on the spot, so I'm just thinking about like the last couple things I listened to. I listened to a lot of Anna Meredith. Is a really cool classical composer who makes like kind of frenetic synth pop with classical sensibilities in her free time. Been listening to a lot of Grand Brothers just put out a new album, and that stuff's really cool.
I don't know who that is. It's awesome.
That's like 2 guys. One plays piano, and the other one has a computer that processes the live audio of the piano, but that person also, there's like pistons and little mechanics on the piano itself that are being triggered by that person. So there's like rhythms that are being generated by like clacking the side of the wood of the piano while someone's playing it, and then that audio is all being resampled and put back together.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so it's like
Interesting.
the newest album has like drums and stuff, which is very different from everything else. But that
And their name is Grand Brothers?
Grand Brothers.
I like that conceptually.
I know. Well, it's funny. It's like Surprise Chef hearing that it's like actually sophisticated jazz when like bands that have high level music abilities and then have silly names. I've always loved this like kind of math rock band called Samuel Jackson 5. Their music's incredible, but that's a tough. It's a tough. I feel like every interview you ever have, they're like, "So are y'all big fans of Samuel Jackson, or is it Jackson 5?"
How big do they have to get before they get, Samuel Jackson in there to?
Oh yeah, I don't think they're at that level.
No.
I don't
Quote
think they're at
something.
Sam Jackson level.
But he'll do it. He's on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
There's
into like
that
instrumental.
Yeah.
Math rock.
Did y'all know that he is like so good at Broadway? Do y'all know this about him? Him and his wife directed and created, and like basically it's an old school play they redid, and they casted him in it, and like it's like Samuel L. Jackson's wife is running the whole play, and it's freaking awesome. It's cool.
I did not know that, but it doesn't feel surprising.
Their dynamic, Samuel L. Jackson's wife and him, if you ever get a chance to just look at them interact and stuff, it's really cool to like see two people who have been together for a long period of time that really love each other, but like know each other's stuff. You know what I mean? And like, it's just cool to see their vibe. You know, see them.
Is it Mrs. Jackson? Miss Jackson?
Ooh.
I would assume that
That's
she
what I was
took
going
his
for.
last name. I don't know. I don't want to, speak for her.
Yeah, I don't.
I got her. Call her real quick.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
I'll just say 3 Japanese bands since you.
Oh,
because
cool.
I went there and I saw Otoboke Beaver, and they're dope.
I don't know.
Never heard
They're
of them.
like punk and sort of surf rock.
Okay.
And an all-girl band and
Cool.
just crazy breakdowns into like avant-garde, like noise, shrieking
Sweet.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But then right back into like surf rock
Oh,
stuff.
sweet.
That
yeah.
sounds cool.
I love that.
And then Tricot is super cool, and they're another all-female band, and then Zazin Boys. They're not all female because they're boys, I think.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, those are 2 like math rock, like real mathy sort
Cool.
of projects. But they just sound like cool, like sort of. I want to put on a leather jacket and like sunglasses,
The
and like
epitome of cool.
put my elbow out
Yeah.
the card
Uh-huh.
the car door
And
window.
do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Sit backwards in a chair.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
It did make it
Kind of a
cool
lark,
at the end when
yeah.
you weren't a fan.
Yeah.
Are these bands that you knew of before going to Japan?
Why?
I don't know, but it saved it for me.
What's wrong?
I was like, I don't know if that's cool. Oh, it was cool.
He hates it. It's cool now.
Yeah, you gotta be.
You gotta hate shit to be cool, man. I know
That's
what,
right.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
That old
a
saying.
little
That old
dark. You gotta let some darkness.
You gotta
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
to be cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a shirt that says it.
I did not, we're getting really good
Should I
at
reform the
hosting
question?
show. Give me what did you say? No, I before I went, I did religiously get on, or like I didn't even put them together, but I had been doing Discover. I only discovered Discover Weekly like within the past year, like 6 months or something like that. And so I had started liking stuff, and those bands were on the liked list. That then when I was wandering around, I listened to like all this unfamiliar music,
Cool.
this unfamiliar place.
Nice.
And then when those popped up, it was especially cool because I was like in Japan, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is Japanese music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How kismet.
Take it in.
Kismet.
I'm gonna get those. I'm gonna get all of the names from y'all. Or actually, I'll just watch the stream and then get it then.
And if you do watch, smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smash
Leave
that
some
like
comments too. That really helps.
Yes.
comments, likes.
Reviews are really good for the engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start the playlist. Go to sleep. You don't even
Yes.
have to watch it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us your best recipes.
In the comments or
What-
just
Like what
Text
kind
them
of
to
like?
us.
You know what? Give us your worst recipes.
Give us your worst and
dubious food.
mediocre recipes, and like what kind of swimwear you like. You know, do you like full clothing, or do you just like a little bit
1910
birthday
style,
suit? Yeah, like who
Swimwear.
knows?
or like a banana hammock.
Yeah,
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm not there yet.
ham a
I don't
banana.
get
Yet?
to a speedo. Yeah,
That's the goal.
I'm wearing a speedo, but it's like a boxer
I
brief
think,
speedo.
I think you would wear a banana hammock well.
Thank you. That's
Does
sweet.
a banana hammock ensue confidence?
In
I would think it gives you confidence.
like a baguette's confidence.
Yeah, like it's
Right.
yeah. I don't think one can wear a banana hammock without feeling
Having
confident. I don't,
yeah,
but then again, I've never done it. That's coming from a man with no experience.
So it might not encourage confidence, but it might. You definitely have to have some confidence to wear one, because
You're-
like
I think
You're
it
ex-
assumes a certain level of confidence.
You're exhibiting confidence.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
You're
wrestled
engaging in confidence.
in high school,
Mhm.
and every time we had to wear that onesie,
Mm-hmm.
ugh,
No,
ugh,
it's a look.
like why? No, like why?
It looks
Look-
like someone put straps on tidy whities and just
Yes.
pulled it up as high as possible.
It's the worst.
Yeah,
It is weird that it's still a thing.
yeah, it's
You're
still
like-
they have perfected it. That is exactly what wrestlers need to be wearing.
You feeling good? You feeling confident? No. All right, go out there and wrestle another man.
Yeah,
All right,
In front of
okay.
a lot of your friends
front of people
and
who
your
are gonna
family.
definitely make fun of you because of the shoes you're wearing and the weird ass clothing that you're wearing.
And if you lose, a lot of people are gonna scream celebratory and like this.
Just yeet cans at you. From that's another cool word. Yeet.
Were people saying
I didn't
yeet
know
when you
yeet.
were in high school?
Not at all.
They were way ahead of
They were.
way ahead of the curve.
Wait, I haven't heard yeet. Is yeet
Oh,
like
really?
throwing stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. After this,
Use it as Chuck, you know?
yeah. Truck,
Yeah.
toss, slam,
Sure.
bobo, dinky, slubbo, and then wrap it.
Hey, could you remind us the name of Sam's podcast initially? I can never remember what.
That other podcast that I
Yeah,
started,
the one it
yeah.
started at. Do you remember the name?
Slippy Dog Strink Mower?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was that.
I think it didn't sound anything like that.
No.
I'm
But
trying to be nice.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yeet that out there all the time. Though.
Oh man,
I'm gonna
here we
yeet,
go.
yeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would use
Yeet,
us.
yeet.
If you have any questions about internet lingo, don't ask the internet. Text us.
Yeah.
I,
We'll clear that right up.
I thought you were requesting that I that I give you credit when I use yeet
Oh yeah,
later.
please. Yeah.
You're like reference number 102. TJ and Rosser. Yeet. You just give like a little audio.
I'll try to remember that. Yeah.
Well, there is no try.
You'll remind me.
Yoda.
Yeah, I'll just remind you.
You were quoting. He was quoting Yoda.
I was quoting Yoda.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yoda.
The OG, not this baby.
Yeah. Yo, duh.
He's not really OG though, because he's like in the second movie, right?
We're like, we look down like, no.
Look, I'm on board, but come on.
We all have our limits.
Yeah.
I don't have kids either, so it's like, yeah, dad jokes aren't. It's.
That was very cool of you to not be into it though.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's like every joke's been fine, but that one really pushed me over. The
I
line.
hated it
Like,
too,
okay.
man. I'm sorry.
He's not. I meant OG as in the original Yoda. I feel like
Not the baby Yoda.
yeah, Baby Yoda's really stolen some shine from the Yoda name.
Yes.
But baby Yoda's so much cuter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 900-year-old Yoda was pretty cute too.
Mhm.
I think at the time, but we all evolve, you know.
Is it if you
Yeah.
count the wrinkles? Is that the age? Like kind of like a tree.
Yeah, Yoda's. Yeah, if you cut him
When
in
you
half.
chop
You're like,
him up.
you're like,
yeah.
go.
hmm I don't think. I think it's way drier than that.
Peel.
I think it's way crispier. Yeah.
Just dust and air.
crunchy.
Hello, everyone. This is TJ. I just want to give you a little bit of something about some Yoda. Here we go.
Do you ever do ASMR? Those
I'm
sounds.
glad we're getting it in there.
Yeah.
There-
What's that called?
ASMR or the
No, there's people who have
mastication.
they have a fear of that sound. There's like a phobia that's associated with those.
Mesophone.
Yeah, misophonia or something. There's
Misophonium.
misophone.
Phonophobia.
I don't like to hear someone
Misophonophobia.
eating.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Someone eating? No, I'm done. I can't have
Well,
it.
it's like the idea of like someone chewing on mic, like
Yes.
eating an apple or a banana or whatever. That was not.
Can't handle it.
Misophone.
Misophonia is not bad.
Phonophrendia.
Mesothelium.
Mesothelium.
It's the asbestos the stuff that's happening.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, let's move on.
It's a thing though. People are afraid of those kinds of sounds. Like they get. Like
I'm sorry.
Afraid.
I apologize and I will never do it again.
Yeah, don't eat.
Don't eat. Roster doesn't eat. We covered this off
Yep.
mic.
Yes.
Don't eat it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Don't-
a lie. It's a
don't
sham.
eat it?
Yep.
Yep.
Don't eat it. Don't need it.
Yeah.
That's my. It's a tattoo on my back. I'd rather not take my shirt off on stream. But it's in that Sublime font. you know?
Yes. I was just about to say, don't
And it's
forget
across
to
my whole
mention
back. Yeah.
Love that T-shirt.
Oh.
Almost. That's. I think that T-shirt's almost bigger than the band. You know.
The Sublime shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I took
That's
one of your
music.
jokes from back in the day, and I was like, hey, where's this guy at that's working on this line? Oh, they're over on that line, the sub line. I was like, I love that band.
Oh yeah. Sure.
It's
And
good.
and then the person looked at me as if they wanted to kill me.
Sure.
And they're like, no, never again, dude. Don't ever do that.
I put a post. I wrote Subline in the Sublime font and put it up, and Charles was not having it.
No,
Charles did not.
but he left it up.
Didn't get
He
it.
did, but he was not appreciative of it.
He's like, mm-mm.
And I
We're
was like,
talking about at Moog Music Incorporated.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, that was some inside
Look at us.
baseball
If
stuff.
you're watching this, expecting to hear us talking about musical stuff, you're welcome. We did it. We covered Sublime.
Yeah.
We touched on
Our
Moog
three
music.
artists that are
favorites, I think.
changing our perspective on
Yep.
music.
We did do that earlier.
Uh-huh.
I forgot about that almost.
Uh-huh. It's
Yeah,
important.
it is. It is important to talk about bands that are really popular right now that need our help. being
Do you think any
popular.
of
Yeah.
the bands we mentioned are really popular right now?
They're
guess
opening
Kika
for
got
Taylor
them white.
Swift, right? The
Alton
all
Gun
nine
definitely.
Are they?
bands.
They're
Yeah,
oh,
Alton
they're-
Gun's a very popular
Okay,
band.
cool.
Like Surprise Chef is definitely becoming a.
That's
very
no. I
popular
wasn't no slight on the
No.
the bands.
band.
I had just never heard of any of them.
me getting defensive over someone.
It's like
else.
they're
Someone else's
recognizable.
Hey, dude. Take a step back, okay?
I mean, Spotify recommended them to me, so like Spotify's heard of them.
If an algorithm is showing them to me, they're popular, okay?
Who do you guys think is the most popular band of all time besides the Beatles?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty.
Um,
I mean, it's all the most popular bands are from that like that
'Cause they've had
20-year
time to
period.
build up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it,
Pink Floyd?
yeah, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones.
You think Floyd's
Yeah,
over
Rolling
Zeppelin?
Stones.
I would
yeah,
say Stones probably over Zeppelin.
Yeah, The Who.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just Stones at this point for longevity of like they're just still
all the car commercials and like
Or they're just like
drops in movies
still
and stuff.
touring.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
just-
Dude, I
Do you
mean,
think they eat?
Rolling
no,
Stones.
no chance. Mick Jagger is eating food.
Yeah.
I don't know
I-
what.
It's
that
eye
is-
drops.
That guy's yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough fluid in his body to take on
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah, Keith
sustenance.
Richards. There's no chance that his body can like break down food. And but yeah, I'd say like some British band from the '60s or '70s is
Yeah.
the most famous.
The
would
Monkeys.
Yeah, maybe not as far.
Now, let's say this: we're
about
talking bands. I mean, if we're talking, I mean, Beyonce, like Gaga, like all
And
these.
Taylor
there's
Swift
Taylor
is
Swift, and Adele.
unstoppable.
Like, yeah, like there's so many.
Yeah.
It's crazy how back in the day there were so many full-on bands that were becoming popular, and then it kind of changed, and now it's like single like songwriters that have really been kind of focused on and brought into the light and stuff like that, which is really cool. Because I don't know, back in the day I used to have like a thing against pop music, and this is me being a little bit vulnerable right now. Like, I wasn't
Yeah,
the
open up.
biggest fan
Makes for a good podcast.
about. I was not the biggest fan of pop music. I don't. There was something about. And
Give us some examples of like what you didn't like.
All right, let's say this. This might be controversial, but back in the day, Kings of Leon, before they got really big and popular, I used to enjoy their music. Whenever they became popular and they put that song "Sex on Fire" or "Sex is on Fire," whatever.
You sound so disappointed.
I still feel the disappointment, and like I want to still like them, and I think what happened is I can't even listen to their music, their older music that I used to like now, because of the association of the popular stuff. That has changed for me recently, within the past year or two, because pop music, I don't know what I had against it, but I have a lot of friends that are into pop music, and they're like, hey, it's unnecessary to dislike another artist, especially if you're an artist. It's all about really kind of bringing it all together and making everybody like happy. Like, if you like a different type of genre, that's cool. I'm going to promote that different type of genre. That's awesome. And I think that music is taking a change. It's making a change now, in a different way, where for a little bit of time it seemed like there wasn't that good of music coming out, but within the past 5 years it feels like things have,
Like pop music.
yeah, pop music has really changed my like perspective a little bit, especially whenever I heard that like the Justin Bieber slowed down, the 800 times slowed down ambient track. Whenever I heard that, I was like, if this was the kind of music he was making, I would be totally into this. Like, if this was on purpose, I would be like
drone music.
like Justin Bieber all the way. But I think my genres, what I like whenever it comes to genres, now I'm at a point in my life where I like every genre. I can find something good in every single genre. There's not a genre I don't like now.
Yeah, I mean there are like a bajillion genres
Yeah.
too, so it's like, like there used to be like pop like Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, and those were like bands like
Yeah.
doing crazy, popping out some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I guess Taylor Swift has like insane production value,
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. I've kind of gone the other way. I would listen to those Taylor Swift albums and like be like, wow, this is so like well produced. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't really gravitate to that so much. I like,
Lo-fi stuff. a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
yeah, that's sort of where I'm at right now.
Nice.
Are you right in the middle of us?
Yeah, I know. I probably have a similar arc to TJ, where like pop, I guess, as a kid, you kind of want to, I guess, go against the grain.
Mhm.
Feel like you're cooler than listening to pop music. But I guess as
Mhm.
I've gotten older, I'm kind of like much more open to it, because I don't know. I've tried as I've gotten older to just like not hate on music in general. It
Mhm.
feels silly to waste the energy on like hating on people's art, rather than being like, it's just not for me. It's for someone. Clearly, it's for someone because they're successful at what they do. So there are things I don't prefer to listen to and things I don't put on. But
Yeah.
um,
I'm not saying I hate stuff.
Mhm.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very, very rare that I'm like,
I hate that when
This
people do
sucks.
that. People are like, this music
Yeah.
sucks. And it's just kind of like, you don't like it.
I used to be
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
I really did used to
Yeah.
be like, oh man, I would
This is like
really
a bad
crap on-
music.
Yeah, I would. And then something happened where I was like, you're being rude to people who are putting a lot of time and effort into something that is actually way better than what you're creating. So maybe you're jealous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's like, I started realizing there's like some interconnection there. Like, wait, what is the real reason why I don't like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I do get jealous quite often.
Yeah, jealousy is a hell of a drug. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a real thing. You know?
Well, it felt silly to like project onto the, like listening to pop music and being like, oh, it's just 4 chords, it's simple stuff. But then I listened to like tons of drone music that's like one note.
Yeah.
And so to be like, oh, it's so oversimplified and silly, and it's so
That's
like,
and if you ever try to write a good song that's like 4 chords, it's
Oh, yeah.
like
Mhm.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
yeah,
Something else.
Unless you practice at it.
I'm fine with pop music.
I used to like rip on virtuosos. Like and that's when I really started to realize that it was based on my like my jealousy of not being as good as them. But I guess I'm more taste over talent kind of guy. Like, because I'm not extremely talented. Like my chops might not be the best in the world, but whenever it comes to like sound and stuff like that, I think I have that part of it down where I'm like tastefully. I like these chords, or I like the way this changes, or I like the way this sounds. But I used to hate on virtuosos. I used to not like Steve Vai.
Well, there's a
and all-
tasteful way to do that.
Yeah.
I just feel I do like the notey stuff when it's just like it's more about how many notes can be jammed into a
Like
thing rather than
Ingve Malmsteen.
yeah, we're just kind of like
Mhm.
okay, cool. I'm impressed, but
Sweet
it's
picking.
like I don't enjoy it. It's not sonorous, you know. It's like
Mhm.
I'm not happy hearing it. It doesn't make me excited. Like Victor Wooten's incredible, but it just kind of feels like it's more of a like novelty act.
It's too many notes. Victor Wooten's like big teaching thing right now is that there are no wrong notes. Check it out. I'll play a bunch of notes.
Yeah.
None of them are wrong. I'm playing a bunch of wrong notes. You think these notes are wrong? They're not wrong. I'm playing a bunch of notes. But now I'm hating on Victor Wooten.
Well,
And I will right now because it's obnoxious.
But he's amazing though. Like
He's
in the sense
phenomenal.
he
Yeah.
teaches people how to talk, like have the conversation and stuff like that. And yeah, like there were times where I was like, "Come on, Vic. Okay, you're good. We get it."
well, sometimes it feels
You
like
know?
it's a circus act, or it's just kind of like it's so over the top.
Him
with
and all of
skills
his
and everything,
brothers
it's like,
on
"Good
stage
Lord."
doing all of the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Too many notes. But I like how you said taste over talent. I just wanted to point out that you said Floyd before Zeppelin because that was the middle school
Oh,
debate
yeah,
for me
sure.
of like
Yeah.
David Gilmour is like a slower
Oh,
guitarist
sure.
but much more thoughtful than
Yeah,
Page.
Jimmy Page. Yeah,
I'm
sure.
more in the trippy shit, you know, stuff, and it's more like I didn't.
Hey, you can say
realize-
whatever you want on this show.
Thank you. I didn't realize, you know, obviously when you're younger and you're listening to Led Zeppelin and then you're listening to Pink Floyd and stuff like that, you don't realize that like Gilmour and Roger Waters hated each other. You know what I mean? You don't know that, so you think they're working together as a team to make this stuff, and then you also think that, you know, The Wall wasn't almost solely created by Waters. You know, it's like you hear all these things and you're like, man, this is the most psychedelic thing that I've heard, and it sounds good and amazing. One of the artists that I think deals with talent and taste well is Thundercat.
Oh, sure.
And
yeah.
Dami.
Virtuoso talent who has kind of tamed down.
Mm-hmm. He
Music.
can still play some cool bass.
Well, he
lines.
lets you know.
Yeah, he's like
There's runs in every song.
He's great too because he's got his sound, but he also tailors it to whatever group he's working
Yeah,
with.
he
at the
doesn't
time.
dominate whatever he's in. He
Yeah.
just kind of likes it.
JD Beck and Dami, or Dami and JD Beck. Do you know anything about?
Yeah, they're sick. That drum tone,
Man,
it's so dry.
you know that he has it to where like he's got like Pazios and stuff like that on certain things, but he wants everything to be just like flat, like just, and then no resonance whatsoever, and it's really cool.
Because he's like very fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Dami is just one of the most talented keyboardists, like pianists that I've
And they're
seen.
like 19,
Yeah,
right?
they're
They're
young.
like 20. Yeah.
Yeah, they just like was like And like as they were crying coming out of the womb, they were like already coming up with new styles to play music.
Yeah, there were keyboards
How did that
in
keyboard
the
get in
delivery
there?
room.
In the delivery.
In the-
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Powered up speakers.
There was a sound guy like, we got him.
Heavily sanitized.
That's because everybody's a musician these days. You know, the nurses.
Yeah, yes.
It's like their side
everyone
hustle
has
is
an
like.
opinion.
They're doing
yeah.
harmonies in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like recording podcasts in,
Mhm.
in the delivery room.
Yeah. Speaking of recording a podcast, we're almost at the end of this one.
Wow.
I mean, at least the
Don't
chatting
you
portion.
dare say this is gonna end.
We can keep at it like it's late into the night if you want.
I mean, I need to get home eventually.
I thought
Cool,
that this
like
was
a couple
going to
days
be
from
my
now.
life forever.
Let's get in a binge, a podcast binge.
Yeah.
We're just like falling apart in 3 days. Like, what else?
They call it po
David
binge.
Gilmour. Isn't that
Yeah.
a good callback?
It's a really recent
We're old.
callback.
We're old as hell. Do you guys like Pink Floyd? Like, yeah.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves, I guess, with some of these bands that we're trying
I just had a student yesterday, like a 10-year-old student. I'm gonna guess. I'm trying to think of which student it was. And are they 10?
Don't
Yeah.
do this on live stream.
No,
Just
just
say it was
say
a cool
that it was a
person.
10.
Yeah,
They
what
were
kind of-
cool. They were
they
10.
were
What kind of
10.
music are they bringing you to learn?
They wanted to learn Careless
Nirvana?
Whisper.
Oh,
And
shoot.
the
All right.
So I found that music pretty quick, and it was a trumpet student, luckily, so it
Sure.
sounds great, and and we're working on it. Then, of course, I taught the next like 4 students that song,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
and
'cause-
the conversation, I found myself asking, because I watched the viral YouTube video with Sergio, whatever his face, the very popular saxophonist playing,
Yeah.
in inappropriate places and getting kicked out by
Oh,
like
yeah, I've seen
managers
that.
and stuff.
Yes.
So how do you know Careless Whisper? Because that's why I think it's funny.
it's just a famous song. It's just
It's
that riff is like one of the more famous horn parts. Isn't that what like Jonathan? That was another Moog Inside Baseball thing.
Yes.
It was like an intern that played saxophone and came and played Careless Whisper.
Before he left, he was like,
that was
"You
like
guys
his
wanna watch me play?"
departing. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's,
You know,
zippy,
Yeah, that's cool.
zippy ties or something he has on his handle.
Oh, Zippy Zaps.
Zippy
or something
Zaps.
Like that.
That's
yeah.
what it is. And he does a lot of really cool stuff. He's a cool
He
dude.
was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Smart intern.
Um,
That's just that. I guess I know of that melody.
Yeah, I
You know,
think
the
it
rest of the
blew
song.
up
It's
in-
kind of like the drum fill in that Phil Collins song, but like yeah, it's like kind of like it's
Yeah.
this like 8-minute song, but
That's
everyone knows
it.
this
I
4
think-
seconds. Since Careless Whisper kind of feels like
I think it is from. Yeah, it's definitely from
a
the
bigger
80s.
majority of the song
Is
for
it-
sure, but everyone knows that sax.
on a sod, it's a sod, or what's the
know anything
actual
about it.
singer or song? Or was it? It's not just an instrumental because
It's what was the kid's name in Arrested Development?
George Michael.
George
It's
Michael.
George. It's George Michael.
that's it. Okay, so the reason
Such
why
a funny
I
way to
remember
get
it-
to George Michael. Not like who did Faith. Yeah.
That's another example of my
Yeah.
age, right? Because I didn't know it from the 80s. I knew it
Oh,
from the
you knew-
viral video on
Yeah.
YouTube. And now these kids haven't seen that, and they also weren't alive in the 80s. And they only know it from memes, like
Oh, yeah.
on YouTube videos and in movies when somebody's talking about love or like something sexy.
Yeah.
You get the.
That's so
That's
interesting.
this
the only
out.
way they know about it.
my mom and I, on the way to school, we used to ride around in this Volkswagen, and she would play that tape in the Volkswagen
Wow.
while we were going to school. While I was going to school, but she was
Nice.
bringing me there, and I was like, "All right, cool." And look, my mom was totally into cool music back in the day. She's the one who kind of like got me into the '80s, like that '80s sound and whatnot. I mean, I'm 42, so I was born in 1980, and obviously I was a kid. When you're that young, it doesn't really put a lot of impression on you. But then in the 90s, that's whenever the music started to get different and strange and kind of, a little bit heavy metal. That's when the heavy metal and the rock
Everything's
and all that
brutal.
stuff, punk,
Yeah,
all, well,
really
not
dark.
punk, but like punk kind of brought that into it. But
What kind of rock music do the students that you work with want
Mhm.
to play? Like what bands? Is it like Nirvana? Like
Nirvana. Yeah, I mean those 90s.
that's another
bands
band
are
that could
Stone
go in
perseverant.
terms of
Pilots.
most popular band ever, like Nirvana.
Yeah, another band
Soundgarden.
whose T-shirts are maybe more
Yeah.
popular than the
Yeah.
band.
Blind Melon.
Soundgarden.
who-
Yeah.
Who are they? Like what? Foo Fighters? Like what are the like? Because like rock
Yeah,
bands are like
Foo
not
Fighters
a thing
is still
anymore.
there. I
Like,
mean,
that's
Foo
true.
Rock
Fighters
Star is dead. There aren't rock stars. That's dead, and maybe
Mhm.
never will be a thing again. But like,
is it?
yeah, I mean, who? Like, I'm being serious that Foo Fighters is like the biggest rock band in the world, right?
I also wanted to ask what your mom jams were, and if your mom let you blast music,
What my mom jams were?
like if when she was bringing you around, because
My mom
was
doesn't
cool
listen
too.
to music. My
Oh.
mom drives in silence. I love my mom to death, but she does not. Yeah,
I've started doing that.
yeah,
It's
she's
quite
like-
peaceful,
she's
driving in
She
silence.
organizes her thoughts. I think she's picked up audiobooks lately.
Mm,
but-
mhm.
It doesn't listen to music.
I
Donny
don't-
Osmond
Wow.
is her favorite artist, but
That's okay.
Oh.
That's nice. I remember a Bad Company CD that lived in my mom's car.
Bad Company?
Bad Company.
Was it Bad Company by Bad
It
Company with the
was-
song Bad Company on it?
That's right.
Yes,
it was,
yeah.
yeah. Apparently, I listened to that in the
Band,
womb.
album,
wow.
and song.
Oh,
You got the
Black
trifecta.
yeah, it's a
Sabbath.
rare. I think Wilco's done it.
Wilco's
it's
done
like
it,
not,
yeah.
not
Black
that-
Sabbath.
Oh, there's a. I
Mhm.
didn't have a song. That's
Mhm.
right. Man,
Holy
that's
crap.
such a bold move to name one
bells.
of your songs after your band.
Black Sabbath kids know that too, which is so funny
yeah,
because
that makes sense.
their music is like so iconic, but also like it always starts kind of bad. I feel like,
Yeah.
or like because they're all wasted.
Yeah,
I feel like the drummer could fall over at any moment.
yeah, it's
when
not
I'm listening, he's like,
particularly.
"Doo-doo-doo-doo."
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a little strange? Maybe it's not that the type of music that we were growing up and liking. Whenever like the popular music that we were growing up in that era, we were still diving back into those old bands and stuff. I feel like that it just goes to show that back in that day, that music really had a big effect on people.
Sure.
And like, because I mean, you're talking about kids wanting to learn all these other bands now. Like, I remember when I was a kid listening to the classical music station and being like, "Oh, this is the holy grail of music,"
Mhm.
and anything new that came out was just lesser than.
Mhm.
But now I feel like that music is starting to reach that level of like awesomeness, but it's not being noticed as much because the marketing isn't pushing it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Strange.
I watched an interview with Andrew Sheps. You guys know that
Yes.
producer guy?
Yes.
He's like, he worked with like the Chili Peppers and a bunch of big names. I don't know. He's like the yin to Rick Rubin's yang, I think.
Mhm. Rick Rubin, favorite producer of all time for me. I know that he
Yeah.
has some weird shit in his past that is kind of weird, but
Oh, I didn't know. Well,
yeah, we won't talk about that
yikes.
here. You look it up.
dang.
you know.
I don't know. Maybe Andrew Sheps does too. But he starts this lecture at Oxford about how. Also, he's got his thing that's sort of like a circus trick in a way, like Victor Wooten's thing is like there are no wrong notes. Check it out. And then his thing is like, the only thing that matters is what comes out of the speakers, man. And he repeats it like 50 times during his lecture. But
Yeah.
he talks, and then he's also started talking just about how much money there used to be in music
Yeah.
before like people were downloading it, before like Napster
Mhm.
and
Making it in their
Before
basement.
streaming.
Lars
and-
was right.
yeah.
Lars was like really villainized at the time. Lars Ulrich,
Yeah.
and it feels like he was totally right.
He was right,
He
dude.
was right.
Yeah, it feels like people hated him.
Yeah, the
There's a
intellectual
South Park
property.
episode I think,
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gone back and like looked at what he was saying at the time to recontextualize it and trying to understand. Maybe he was still being rude about it or whatever, how he was going about it, but it feels like ultimately he was correct.
I think everybody is hating on it because he was in one of the biggest bands in the
In the-
world and
yeah.
super rich.
Right,
And
yeah.
he was still like, but my money.
This is the reason.
Just didn't realize it.
why
And he probably wasn't talking about it trickling down to smaller artists and stuff because that's who felt it the most.
Oh, yeah.
Napster. Napster.
Napster.
Yeah, Josh Naster. Napster is the main reason why he came out and said that about
Yeah.
the music.
Yeah.
And people were upset with him because they were able to get free stuff.
Mhm.
That's why they were mad. Because they were like, you're
Oh,
going to
sure.
take this
Yeah,
free
you're-
thing
yeah,
away
yeah.
from us now? Like, you idiot. You know, you're one person, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But realizing that they didn't understand the consequences for the future
Mhm.
of this decision. you
Yeah.
know? So it's like anytime you make something open space or what do you call it? Whenever it's like
Open source.
open source, anytime you make something open source like that, the intellectual property is gone, and then now anyone can really sample it and use it for whatever they want. So there, on one hand, you might have some really cool stuff that comes outside of it, like some like hip hop, some like really cool different genres and stuff. But what does it do to that band? What does it do to those members? Metallica, I think, was big enough to where it didn't really affect them as much.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
pretty popular band.
Yeah.
So
Think of a band.
Maybe most popular, another band.
they're up there, yeah. And kids actually do
Still-
know Metallica.
Sure.
still, yeah.
Well, and
Burning
Stranger Things, right? There was like Kate Bush had her resurgence because of the newest Stranger Things
Yeah,
season,
that's
and then
super
also
interesting.
Master of Puppets, right?
yes.
They're like he's playing Master of Puppets on the
But-
trailer. No spoilers.
Those coincidental like resource abundances and their effects on music are super interesting too. Yeah, because Kate Bush accidentally capitalized off of Stranger
Yeah.
Things' popularity, and then like you mentioned hip hop, and like I think a lot during the riots, often a lot of electronic music equipment was yoinked and then ended up in communities that wouldn't have had that equipment otherwise, and then they were able to like make beats and that contributed to the success of that genre too.
Yoinked might be the opposite of yeeted,
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
mhm.
it is.
I think.
I'm glad you yeeted that out there.
And that's just what happens. That just goes to show that whenever you give people, no matter who it is, who they are, whenever you give people ways to create music and creativity, you never know what's going to happen. And some of the coolest stuff can come from it. I think that we should never steer away from that. We should always be willingly giving people who don't have a lot of things, or maybe not even have some creativity. I've heard people that aren't into music make some really cool stuff. And it's like, wow, okay. So it's just...
So check out Irvin Music Studios Patreon. And
Oh yeah, Patreon.
and,
Do it.
yeah, Patreon. Have you guys ever
Rate and review
rate and review on Patreon?
on every
On-
website.
Yeah,
Only
YouTube.
Yelp.com.
Patreon.
I don't know.
Yelp,
Angie's
If
List.
you've been here,
Craigslist.
Craigslist,
eBay.
Yeah,
eBay.
I'll take these. Yeah,
Yelp-
these are good.
Yelpsy,
My
Yelp-
reverb.
Yetsy.
Give Irvin Studio a positive review on eBay.
Wish.
Yeah, 5
.com.
stars.
Wish.com.
But also Patreon.
Alibaba.
Have you guys ever paid a Patreon?
Yeah, I've paid a couple podcast Patreons
Yeah.
and been like satisfied and felt good about it.
Did
I
you-
like Brian David Gilbert. Do you guys know that guy?
Hey, no. 3 first
That
names.
sounds very familiar.
It sounds like
I
3
know.
hosts of one podcast.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Brian David
He
and
makes
Gilbert.
funny YouTube videos. And
Okay.
they're musical and funny.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a fun way to support someone very directly. And
Yeah.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily do it as like I want that extra content as much
Mhm.
as it's like I could give that person $3 a month. Or,
Yeah.
I was just
See,
about to
Rosser
ask
can
about
do
the
it.
extra content. Was it worth it? You know what I mean? Because they
Yeah.
offer a bunch of different things, like content that's uncensored and all this other content.
Mhm.
Was that?
It
Was it
ended
worth
up
it?
being like I definitely just paid to be like they've given me so many hundreds of hours. I'll pay and I'll get the extra episode, and then I like stopped paying the Patreon and then ended up going back to it because I missed the second episode a week. So like I think it ended up being worth it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to know.
Are you paying for the Comedy Bang Bang? Longtime viewers of this show know that Scott Aukerman is my primary influence.
The CBB world.
Mhm.
Yeah, as
Yes.
my hosting duties.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I aspire to be Aukerman-esque.
Man, old Skuwalk is awesome. I like him a lot. I mean, that's where Reggie, just how ridiculous they are.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the best things. They never take themselves too seriously, and I would have to say that is what I admire most about people is whenever they don't take themselves too seriously. And they can just kind of go with the flow and be happy. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And still make really cool creative content.
Sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting. I struggle with that, and I know we're gonna go over time a little bit, you guys. I hope that's okay.
I
I-
thought this wasn't going to end.
I want to take myself seriously enough to have integrity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And like
Honor
to make
schedules.
creative work. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The honor
It's the
schedules and
same
commitments.
fine
and-
line between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
Yes, that it's like kind of the same thing. You
Mhm.
ride that line a little bit of being like, cocky, or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
cockatry.
oh, cockatry.
The medieval art of cockatry.
But the Comedy Bang Bang book is out now. You should wait. That's not what I meant to.
You're
plugging-
plugging.
You're plugging a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it. Yeah.
It is a good book, though. Get your CBB book.
Yes.
It is good. It is funny. And this has been really funny to you guys.
Yeah.
You are TJ Mills and Roster Douglas.
Correct.
Am I
Hey.
pronouncing those correctly?
Yes.
That is correct.
Cool. And I am.
I can't guarantee TJ's, but mine
What do you
was
think
dead
about
on.
my pronunciation of Roster's name?
I dig it. I think that there could be a little bit more of like you could see the S's
You taking
and then
notes?
the end of the R, the two R's at the front and the in the end,
Mhm.
and then the S's. That's yeah. I think you did good.
Oh, good. I just needed a little bit of a.
Yeah,
pick
have you
me
ever
up,
received
little
that kind of
boost today.
constructive criticism before?
That kind?
It's unique, but it's good
Yeah, no, it was unique,
It was
right?
firm.
Yeah, it was
It was a
Different.
firm take.
fresh,
and interesting.
firm and fresh.
Firm.
You know, I do have a friend named Douglas Oser.
Whoa.
That's pretty close. You guys
Whoa. I don't want to meet that.
No,
Unfortunate.
I don't want to see it.
maybe don't
Yeah.
touch.
What
At
if
first, I thought we'd be friends, but I think we're enemies.
What if you
Oh,
blipped
no.
into the same
You are
person?
pretty
You're like,
opposite.
Are we?
A
They're
little
very
bit.
tall,
Yeah.
etc.
smell great.
Other
Yeah.
things.
No, I'm sure.
they smell great. Yeah, let's get away from each other. No,
No,
okay.
I haven't smelled any of you.
So here's the deal. This is Asheville 8 Note. It is a live stream. It's a podcast. You can continue to comment.
It used to be called.
Sebido de mi suamo.
You know, I think that was closer to the original one.
Thanks.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all good.
Worthy.
It's very. I don't take myself too seriously, so
Mm.
what was I saying?
You're shutting it
I
down.
don't take myself seriously enough because I forgot what I was saying.
No, but this makes it cool and entertaining. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, yeah, the casual nature of it.
Mhm.
Yes.
It is Asheville 8 Note. It's
Mhm.
a podcast. You should subscribe on YouTube because that's a thing. I do go back and edit these, and the jam you're about to hear is going to sound fantastic. But it's going to sound even better once I go back and touch it up and, edit this down a little bit. And so, yeah, check out the past episodes on YouTube. Check out the Patreon. Check out these. Do you guys have anything to plug?
Actually, we do.
Oh, good.
We
Thank God.
can I?
Is it exclusive?
It's not.
Scott Ackerman
No, I
would
think you're
say.
getting exclusive.
You are getting exclusive. We haven't said
I'm
anything to
stoked.
anybody about this, but
I hope everybody's paying
Anything
attention.
to anybody.
yeah, I haven't. Like, nobody knows about this. Well, and
Juicy.
whenever they did,
Spill the
I
tea,
haven't
bro.
seen them since.
Uh-huh.
But
Spill that tea. Yeet it out there.
okay,
I'm trying.
It's good.
Rosser and our friend Andrew and myself, we have a 3-piece, and we didn't originally think that we were gonna go any further than just kind of having fun with it, and we are actually taking some initiative in making an album, and we just figured out the name of the band, and I'll share that with you.
Okay, good. This is
There's
great.
nothing
I
out there.
love the suspense.
There's no content out there right now from the band name.
It'll have to be the band name now.
Be like same. That's
Be like Sam?
be like be like same.
We were very inspired.
Yeah, we were.
Be
But
like Sam. I like it. So
yeah,
you're-
it's different, and yeah, we're. It's super fun.
I regret stepping on it. I'm sorry. Be like Sam is very cool.
No. It'd be like Sam was pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
I didn't realize until after I said it that it could be totally misconstrued as "be like Sam." You know?
Let me get you. Why don't you introduce it one more time?
And the band name is "Be Like Same."
Be like Sam?
He stepped on it again.
I'm so sorry. I screwed
Your
up.
wet, stinky
One-
toes are
Yeah,
all
but
in.
the second
One more
step was
time,
so
one more
much
time.
better.
Be like Sam.
Be like Sam?
That
Wow.
you
Y'all really
you
work together there.
That's good. So wait, is it sort of a message of conformity?
Yeah, we want everyone to be the same.
To get real
Yeah.
conformed.
That was the whole reason why we decided to make the band. It's because we were like, all music, all art, all food, everything needs to be the same.
The goal
Yeah.
is to make it the most like ubiquitous, like the most
Uniform.
popular uniform music of all
What
time.
do we like most? That, and then make it everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So you like the music that you guys are making?
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
so all other music needs to sound like.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's a dictum
Yeah.
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
for
yeah,
other
yeah.
bands, other artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. Be like Same. So when can we expect that sweet content? Is
I
there-
think we'll probably drop a song by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Nice.
say.
Would love to have you guys back on. The
Sure.
three of you
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
I'm in a band called the Cartridge Family.
Oh, I am having you guys on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and we play 8 and 16-bit video game music on synthesizers and drum machines. From like the Nintendo Sega era.
Mm-hmm.
And so that band is a band, Cartridge Family VGM. You can find stuff. We just put out a new like a recording of a live show that we did. Just played Magstock, which is like a Magfest event. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
The last set that they did was water themed.
Yeah, all
And
water levels.
It was so cool. And then the last
Mm.
song was the Bowser Castle and stuff. Whatever. But
Yeah.
it was amazing. Yeah.
Did you get but never mind.
Real quick. People at the MagaFest were chanting
Magfest.
Magfest, not MAGA.
Mag. Mag.
Mag. Mag Fest,
Yeah.
not MAGA Fest.
So they were.
That dude's a turd.
Everybody was chanting "Make America Great."
No,
Make
they were
America
saying, "Holy shit!" They were chanting, "Holy shit!"
That is true.
after your show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Wow, what a compliment!
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's, I mean, mag is music and gaming, so it was
Yeah.
like we played this festival, and it was like a whole community that was like, "Where have you been?"
This whole time.
This is what this whole community is. So it's just a very appreciative community,
yeah, that's huge.
and people love Super Nintendo. Everyone loves it, and every time we play
Definitely.
those songs, everyone gets.
So you didn't get. My question was going to be, did you play the water theme from Mario 64? That
We
one?
did Dire Dire Docks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We could play it. I'll reference it in the jam.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that song's.
It's
I was
so
gonna say
good.
fire, but
It's
it's
so
not.
good.
It's water.
Yeah, exactly. Although the
Nice,
lava
Sam.
theme in Mario 64 is also very good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded pretty doubtful.
I'll think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Interesting opinion.
We'll see.
I'm still feeling regretful for stepping on.
Oh, you
No,
should.
don't.
I feel so bad.
No, it's not even
I'm
a thing.
excited.
That might not even be the name of the
That
band.
might
Who
not
knows?
even be.
Okay, I do want it to be though, because it sort of like sounds like my name.
I know.
It does say sound. I mean, but that's fresh. That was decided like
Very recently. It was
couple
like
days
3
ago.
days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear what you guys are coming up with for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to hear what we come up with
yeah,
here
Yes.
in just a moment.
absolutely.
Is now the time? Any last words? Not like that.
I got one. Blarp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he said get out.
I can cut to black, but the sound is still going.
Does it fade to black?
It only cuts to it just cuts to black, unfortunately. And then Instagram Live doesn't. So if you're watching on Instagram Live, please tune in to the YouTube because that's where you'll hear the jam. Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
So fun.
That
That was the most fun talk I've had in a long time.
Was it? Because you've been talking to like 10-year-olds and stuff?
I did have a couple of students on it.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Well,
Like,
you never, I'm opening it up to different types of guests, and some of them are hilarious.
I can
Some of
tell
them are
Yeah.
from the 5th to this one, you've made a lot of improvements. It feels a lot more streamlined. I can tell that you're like on your game now.
Oh, thanks.
It's really good, dude.
Thank you so much. That
Yeah.
means a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get those skills up. I have a voice, you know,
Yeah.
and I have things to say.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
Yeah.
people will listen to it.
People need to hear it.
People need
Yes,
to hear
they
it,
do.
definitely. And I also want to, just trying to do some good and provide a platform for other
Yeah,
people in the community to say the things that they have to say.
Well, I mean, I think here's the thing. How long have you been doing this now?
Like a year and a half, maybe. Episode 70.
They say a lot of times, it takes sometimes years to get something like this off the ground and get people looking at it. Here's the thing. Once people do start looking at it, you're going to have so much backfill content that they will not be bored. They will continue, and if they like your content, they'll be like, I'm going to check this episode out. I'm going to check this episode out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
They'll get to those that I totally messed up.
And then they'll laugh at you for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, this is still great. You know, even though it's not like, production on point, it's still great because like people want to see like a difference. And people want to see like people not being on point all the time. I think that is a part of it. I don't want to see people being on point all the time. I want to see people like, hamming it up and just, kind of squeezing every ounce of juice out of whatever they got. Making a joke, having fun, whatever. And
Yeah.
you allow us to do that, and it's awesome.
Yeah, good, totally. Yeah,
Love you.
good. Love you guys. It's so nice.
Thanks for having us on.
No, thanks for coming on.
Sometimes I can be a little mantic, but I feel like in this company, I feel good. I feel like you guys are like, yeah, that's TJ.
I want you to feel good. Yeah. Yeah.
You should be you.
You should be you. A you that feels good. Don't feel.
This is a Parker?
It's a Parker. That company's dead now.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That thing might make it worse.
When
It could be. I haven't looked into it.
When did the company die?
It's like my electric guitar though, so I don't know if I'm gonna sell it. It's like the one I ran over it one time in the case, and
Wow.
it still works.
Wow.
So it's a sturdy guitar. Yeah.
The Parker.
It's a Parker one, and it's like a prototype. I did try to sell it at one point.
And they're like, this is prototype, get it out of here.
they're like, it's not coming up. I don't know. I can't find it. It's crazy.
Well, see, that's good. That's what's going to make
How did you
this
end up with
guitar-
it?
I don't know. I bought it at the musician's workshop. I think when I was my dad bought it for me whenever I was like 12 or something.
Dude, keep this thing. It might end up being worth a lot of money later on.
Yeah, I'm wondering
got
that
good
about the
pickups,
Moog stuff.
good-
Looks like it's got Parker brand picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't there like a kiddie
named after
toy
my
thing,
daughter.
Parker?
Is it?
Yeah,
There's a guy
Parker. And
last
Parker.
name Parker in Tortoise.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jess Parker. He's a badass.
That's my daughter's name.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Parker Jet.
Parker. Yeah.
PJ.
PJ.
Parker
Huge.
Jet.
Okay, now I see why it caught your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parker
it's
means-
coming together.
It's got a whole new meaning to me.
Are you excited for when she turns 16 and you can drive in the Parker car?
no adult. It's like I can't wait until my kid is in danger constantly.
Yeah. And starts to really hate me.
Yes, that's whenever our relationship went downhill. It's whenever she became a fucking 16.
I think she's gonna be a rad 16-year-old.
Dude,
I bet so.
with your awesome parenting skills and just your awesome attitude, and both of you are awesome. I think that Parker Jet's going to.
I think
She's going to be
she'll
good.
contribute to society.
Oh yeah. You know, she might even help fix it a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully.
I got.
TJ, what's your typical skill?
Did you get sweat? Did you guys knee sweat?
Oh, you got knee pit sweat.
Knee pit sweat.
Roster, do you have an Instagram?
I do.
What is it?
Roto waffles.
ROTO?
RODO.
Ralsa dog legs. Hell yeah, dude. Let me pop that thing in my mouth real quick.
I think it is misophonia.
Yeah, because you're like that. I got it.
I think it was. I did Google it and I saw it pop up, but then the conversation was just moving so fast.
It was electric.
It was like, it
Yeah.
was. I didn't want to.
We never even talked about the whole submarine Titanic thing.
And it's like a fart. If you're doing it, you love it. But whenever someone else is doing, you hate it.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
I do
want
love
any
my
of it.
parts.
Yeah, you're.
Wait, the Titanic submarine thing, wasn't there just a segment about that on like NPR about like the guy who got swept up in the current and like got wedged in between the propeller of the Titanic?
Well, there's a
Exploring
submarine lost
right now.
right
Yes.
now.
And they've
Yeah,
heard banging.
right.
Yeah, they're
Shit.
dead.
Oh.
There's no chance they're gonna find them.
They had like a day left. Yesterday.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. is when
The air
the
runs out.
oxygen.
They heard
Find
banging.
people.
They heard banging
banging,
yesterday,
and
but
they
then
also heard.
and they said they were hearing it at regular intervals, and then it stopped.
It was happening every 30
Why
minutes.
can't and they
then-
can't get
Which
to
is
them?
like, God, well, from what I've read, there's nothing that could bring them
Triangulate,
up
yeah.
to, like, if they found them, they couldn't
Wait, but they can't.
extract.
That's what I'm confused about. They can't find them, but they heard banging. I don't understand
Well,
what that means.
I think sonar picked
Yeah.
up banging, but there's like 5 things in the world that can get to that depth, and none of them possess the ability to like take on another ship
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
float to the. So it's like they're just gonna die.
They're-
Like,
and they were. It's like a tourist vessel, right?
yeah, and they're all
They're
it's
just
like
having fun.
$250,000 to get on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's an unregistered, like it's like a hobbyist. It's not like a. It's fucked up. It's
Dang,
crazy.
dude.
No, it's like one of the craziest stories. I used to be obsessed with the Titanic as a kid, so I'm like really obsessed with this story.
It's a very wild story.
It's an epic display of hubris
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
to go like, and like the worst death possible. I hope it imploded and they died instantly.
Sure. Yeah.
And
That's
not
way better
suffer.
than like
Than
stuck
suffering.
on the floor of the ocean
Oh, dude,
in a
yeah.
tube running out of oxygen and pitch black with like 4 other billionaires.
I'm
Sounds
just
pretty miserable.
in
That is-
my
I'd rather die
brain,
instantaneously
I'm just-
from an implosion.
think
Imagine
you're right.
looking
That's
at people
true.
that I don't know, being like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you die because you don't have any oxygen, and then they're all like dying in around you. Oh my God, I unfolded something
Well, because
inside of my brain
yeah.
that I don't want to think about.
the only 3 things that could happen is that it imploded and they died instantly, they lost power and are stuck on the bottom of the ocean, or they're bobbing somewhere on the top of the ocean.
Yeah.
And the thing is bolted from the outside, so it has to be open from the outside. They can't even get out. So even if they bob at the surface, they can't get out.
Fuck.
It's so bad. It's such a nightmare.
Why wouldn't you make?
It's such a nightmare. Yeah, every decision about it is so terrible.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. How long do we have?
Well, it is 9:30. I don't know. Do you guys have a time limit of when this will
I mean,
be?
are we gonna be playing for a whole hour?
We jam for half an hour?
You jam for half an hour. Yeah. So I don't
Could
know.
I smoke super duper
We
quick
can
and come
smoke.
in?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course. Yeah. Can't say no to a cigarette. But
I haven't.
have a grumpy TJ the whole.
I want to hear that NPR. I want to hear them talk about it because that sounded like more information than I've heard anything else. Because I don't know where the thing is.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it was actually
Speculative.
they threw it to another guy who's like, I was on a submarine once.
Oh yeah, and here's what's probably going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all of this has been.